So now, if this is the case, so he's saying the problem with faith, the problem with this thing here, is that the conversation stopped. In other words, if you ask the question about like why, do you believe there's a God? Yes, absolutely, all of my heart. Okay, so then we go to scientific evidence. Well, I mean, listen, I just have faith. In other words, faith is something that people will use just to go stop right there, no more conversation about it. So it's the conversation stopper. It's a reason why you don't have to give reasons for why do you believe? Dude, it's just faith. Okay, I want to talk about it. It's just faith. The same is true, by the way, I suggest too about ourselves. I asked that question earlier, like, why do we have faith in ourselves? I believe in the effectiveness of my work. Why would you believe in the effectiveness of your work? What's that? You're good what? Wingman. Explain.
My friend got the kid, I got him a girlfriend.
You got him a girlfriend?
Yeah,
I'm
He's gonna believe
I
it.
just said, I don't know, I was making up lies, but it worked.
Oh, good. So you were able to manipulate a person, change the course of their life to get your friend where you wanted.
I'm good with it.
Okay.
I mean, when you put it that way, everything can sound bad.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like she's a human being or anything. So, but here's the thing. Why would he believe in the effectiveness of his work? Because he has seen it before. In other words, he has a reason to believe in himself because he's been effective before. Regardless of what we think about the methodology, he's been effective before. If you believe in the effectiveness of your work, like you think like, oh, I believe in myself, I can become rich. Why on earth would you believe that? What would you have to have in order to have a real faith in it? Because otherwise it's just a hope. Oh, I really hope I can become rich someday. Yeah.
If you achieved it, or you somewhere.
Yeah, if you haven't become rich yet, but there might be some things that can point towards you becoming rich.
Or like it's still progress. Like you gain some progress, you gain like experience.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah. It's kind of like if you came to me and you told me that you were struggling with confidence, and you said, I don't believe in myself. I struggle with self-esteem. Probably the first question I would ask you is, well, why would you believe in yourself? Yeah, and people be like, but you have to believe in yourself. Maybe you have to have hope in yourself. But God, why on earth would you believe in yourself? What have you accomplished so far in your life that would give you any reason to believe in yourself? And by the way, this isn't please understand, this is not a finger wagging, you haven't done shit in your life. No, it's asking the question, what have you done? And it forces us to stop and sit there and ask that question, well, what have I done? And it can be something small. Like, for example, if you ever, I don't know, like let's say you commit yourself to becoming rich. So what does it take to become rich? Maybe your work ethic. Okay, fine, because it's the effectiveness of your work. Where has your work been effective in your life? Where have you been effective in this area? And it's a way of searching through, because one of the reasons you're going to find that you're not effective in the things that you do in your life is because you don't set out goals to achieve. So if I ask you, like, have you been effective? First off, you have to know what effective means. We have to establish some set of criteria for us to be able to look back and say, okay, this was effective. Whatever it is. Let's say you're going to measure effectiveness by, I don't know, I know we're in school, but
Can I share an example?
please.
In my work, I know how to give out tickets. And tickets, instead of getting tips at the end of the day, you get commission.
Okay.
And the only way you get commission is that once you sell a deluxe, super deluxe, and express details. So like, do I believe it's effectiveness, or like the way I do it, like if I keep selling more of these, then I definitely am going somewhere and getting more money at the end of my paycheck.
Perfect. Perfect. So he's seen his ability to see a problem or to find a solution to improve his situation and to be effective in that area. And if you can be effective in that area, you can be effective in all kinds of areas, because it's the skill set. It's the skill set of being able to be able to find an opportunity, which is a big part of this. This is it's being able to find opportunities to become rich. It's like, people ask me all the time, how do you invest money? How do you do these things? Well, you don't just take a bunch of money and just dump a bunch of money into something. You have to find an opportunity for it. And when you find an opportunity for it, then you have to have the courage to do it, because there's probably some level of risk in there. When something falls apart, it doesn't go your way. So then you're learning the ability to take a calculated risk. And then you're also seeing that when you do find an opportunity and you take a calculated risk, sometimes in life it works out. And when that happens, it benefits you. So that's all pointing towards this thing of being able to become rich, being able to open a business. Otherwise, what we're doing is we're just kind of hoping for it. I hope that someday I'm going to be rich. Someday I'm hoping that I'm going to open a business. And so if you ask me if I had to develop confidence in these areas, that's exactly first things first. Where in your life have you been effective? In the skill set that you would need in order to do the thing that you want to do. It's like if you're asking me about, I don't know, some of you maybe want to go to college afterwards, and you have faith that you're going to do well in college. I'd ask the question about why would you have faith in that? And you might say, well, because I've got 4.2, whatever, high GPA here. Okay. The skill set that you need for college is very different from the skill set that you need here. But this is a good approximation. In other words, people will say things like, well, just because you go to college doesn't make you smart. True, true. But disproportionately, people who end up there are a bit above average, so there's a reason to believe in yourself. It might end up being a hope. It might be. But, largely you have some reason to believe it, even if it's not a good reason. Again, just because you have a high GPA doesn't mean that you're going to excel in life. But there's something there. I was talking to a class yesterday. Interesting study. When you look at CEOs, not CEOs, executives, all levels of executives, from CEOs, CFOs, so forth, Fortune 500 companies, take a guess. What's the college GPA of those people, roughly?
Above
2.0? No.
1.
That's just hopeful. That's just hopeful. It's about a B to B minus average.
B 3.
Yeah. And these are the people who are running Fortune 500 companies. Now, if you ask that, if you sit there and go, wow, so they're not even that smart.
Work.
How do they get those jobs? Work and not bribery.
And
That's a horrible way of thinking about it. Because if you believe that, then you have to believe that your chances of life are zero. That really isn't. I mean, when you presume corruption, you think the whole thing is just corrupt. That's just a way of backing yourself out of it all and saying, see, that's why I can't achieve. And if I feel like I can't achieve, or if I convince myself I can't achieve, then we're not going to. And we're going to do other things to try to level things in our favor, which I'll leave it at that. And we know where that goes. So they work hard, and what else do they do? Why might people get subpar grades in college? What are they doing instead?
wait.
Think obvious.
Oh.
Yeah. So is it? Say it again. Partying. And when you're partying, what are you doing?
Having fun.
Having fun.
Enjoying.
Having fun, enjoying. But with who?
With
other people. So what are they doing when they're partying? They're networking. They're meeting people. If you go to Yale and you're partying at Yale, who are you partying with? Well, you're partying with people whose parents probably own companies and stuff like that. People who have opportunities. And so you're getting to know the people who have those opportunities. So maybe you're not scoring straight A's because you have a strong social life, but that strong social life is laying the groundwork for you to be able to get opportunities later in life. This is the real thing. The real effectiveness, the real effective strategy for upward mobilization is networking, getting to know people. It's one of the reasons that doing this, especially this language stuff, is so important. Like I was saying before, you don't want opportunities from your peers. That's not going to help you in life. The opportunities that you're going to get in life that really move you upward are going to be from people you haven't met yet. People who are from different backgrounds. People who are from all walks of life. It's the people who are going to laugh at you for saying Buffett instead of buffet. The people who are going to laugh at you for saying salmon instead of salmon. Again, whether you like it or not, whether it's fair or not, that's what the world looks like. And that's one of the reasons it's important to learn how to speak well, because if you speak well, what's your background? It's whatever the hell you want it to be. You can be from anywhere you want to be. You can be from any background you want to be from. And I mean that because you can wear that mask of that. So you have to be fake? No, it's not about being fake. It's about putting yourself in a situation where you can actually move forward. And you can sit there and cross your arms and say, this is unfair, this is not the way it should be. And you can say it from wherever you presently are in life, and you can get comfortable there and stay there for the rest of your life. But that's not going to be effective if you want to do these things. Does that mean that nobody who does it gets there? No, of course not. Nothing is everything. Nothing is everything. Because by the way, the average GPA for people who are entrepreneurs who start companies, if they even graduate from college, is a little bit of, it's a C average. These are people who get C's. Why? Because not only do they network, which is true, but also they don't like the rules. That's why they become entrepreneurs. They don't like the rules. And because they don't like the rules, if something in school they think is going to be useless to them, and by the way, they're not making that presumption from a place of ignorance, which is a lot of people do. I'm never going to need that in life. How could you possibly know that at this point? How could you possibly know that? Like I was saying, if you go over to the second floor here, you've got those posters up and down the wall saying coding. Coding is the future. Coding, and I've got friends right now over at UCSD who are working on AI applications for coding, which means that in the future, all coding is going to be done by artificial intelligence, not by humans. So if you pour your whole life right now into learning how to code, that's wonderful. And then you can learn how the AI is doing the coding for you, because they're far more efficient than us. And it's just like computer science. 15 years ago, people were telling everyone, computer science, you got to do computer science. Computer science is the #1 unemployed major right now for college graduates. Everyone was telling them, you need to do this. So what are you going to have to be able to do for the future? I don't know. Anybody who says they know, they're either ignorant or they're trying to sell you something.
Would you like this product?
Or would you like to pay a whole bunch of money to come to this university, which is more likely what it looks like. So who knows what you're going to need to do. You're going to need to be able to think, that's for sure. And you're going to need to be able to communicate, that's for sure, with people. Beyond that, I don't know. I don't know, but that's enough, though, to do these things. To think, to be able to find opportunities, to be able to communicate, to be able to exploit the relationships that you make, to network. And then you've got a good reason to have faith in yourself, because you've been successful in the past. If you want to develop confidence, that's what you have to do. You have to have faith in yourself, but you have to have a reason for the faith. And that just means, like, set some goals. Set some goals. It doesn't matter how small the goal is. The goal doesn't have to be, I'm going to be rich, because you won't know that until the day you die. Because until the day you die, you still have the opportunity to do that. And until the day you die, you also have the opportunity to lose it all, even if you do earn it. Instead, set small goals. What could your goal be? I don't know. Run a mile? Maybe something small like that. Oh, I could never do that today. That's true, but you run a quarter of a mile, and then you take a day off, and you run a quarter mile again, take a day off, and then maybe you're going to feel ambitious and try half a mile, so you do that. And then at some point you get to a mile, and you might, again, be tired or whatever, but you look back on it and you say, wow, if a week ago, I never imagined I could run a mile. 2 weeks ago, I never could have imagined I could run a mile. But today I just did. I wonder what else I could do if I set my mind to it and scheduled into my life the practice to be able to do that. If right now you said, I want to be rich, great. How do you want to do it? Do you want to do it through investment? Do you want to do it through entrepreneurship? How do you want to do it? I guess investments. Fantastic. Set goals for yourself then. What can I learn right now? Even if I don't have the money right now, what can I learn right now that could help you be able to achieve this? So that when that opportunity comes, because you've been doing the thinking, when the opportunity shows up, well, now you have the opportunity to give it a shot. And if you've already kind of prepared yourself, you've got good reason to believe that you can be successful because you establish those small goals all along the way, and then you accomplish them. And that's what it is. Confidence is not going to come from the big achievements. That's where satisfaction comes from. Confidence comes from all of the small steps that get you to those big achievements for satisfaction. Because you believe in yourself. That's what gives you the courage to take the risk. If you're sitting there going like, I don't know, it's a risk, I don't know, of course you'd think that. If there's a gap, and if any of you were a little kid, you did something like this, where there's like a gap and you're trying to jump over the gap. Oh, yeah. Like maybe if you look out there and there's two buildings right there, and there's that big gap between. If I asked you, do you think you could jump that and clear it? You might look at that gap and go, oh yeah, that's not far at all. And then once you get up there and you look at it and you're like, that's so big. Yeah, this isn't just a gap, this is a chasm. And you're staring down into the abyss of the chasm there. And of course, as we know, the abyss is now staring back into you. And you might be like, there's no way I can do this. Okay. So what can you do? Well, you can go out and practice it. Maybe try jumping 5 feet. Maybe try jumping 7 feet. And after some time, figure out how far you have to go. And eventually, you will jump it. And now you can ask yourself, I wonder what else I can accomplish. It's going to feel good when you do it. There's going to be a sense of accomplishment that's there, but the confidence to take that risk came from all the little accomplishments all along the way. That's what I'm getting at. And then when you achieve the thing, of course, there's a sense of satisfaction, which is neat. And then, of course, once you jump that one gap, what are you going to do?
Try a different,
Jump again, and then
try something else.
go find another one.
Yeah.
Go find another one. Well, I wonder what other cat can jump. And eventually, you may find that you can't jump. I mean, of course, you're going to find it because there's always the Grand Canyon.
Oh boy.
But that's the thing. You'll be able to look at it and go, that's too far for me. And actually, it actually will be, because having accomplished all along the way, you now have a very strong sense of yourself, and you have a very strong understanding of what you can and what you cannot do. Not from a lack of confidence, not from a lack of belief, not from a lack of faith in yourself, but because it's from a wealth of experience that tells you, I can't do that. You know? It was like I was saying before, I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. Questions, comments, concerns, complaints, criticisms, critiques? Happy Wednesday, right? A little more positive.
Happy
It's
win.
not the deep, dark void that is our soul. There's nothing existential here.